Maya is a 15-year-old Igbo girl who lived in a small village with her parents. She is the only child of her parents. Maya's family is very poor. They live in a small mud house with a leaking roof. Sometimes they go to bed without food because there is no money to buy even garri or yam. Maya does not go to school. She also doesn't learn any trade. Not because she doesn't want to, but because her parents can't afford it. Her mother sells firewood by the roadside, but the money they make is not enough. Most times, they use whatever they get to feed the family, and even that is not always enough. Even though life is hard, Maya is a very kind and respectful girl. She greets everyone politely and always helps her parents with house chores and farm work. When she sees an elderly person carry something heavy, she quickly runs to help, even if she is tired. Every morning, Maya would sit under a big tree in her father's compound. From there, she would watch other children in the village dressed in their school uniforms, walking to school with their bags and books. She watched them with pain in her heart. She wanted to go to school too. She wanted to learn, to write, to read, and become somebody in life. But there was no money. All she could do was sit and watch. One day, something terrible happened. Maya's mother fell seriously sick. She could not get up from the bed. Her body was hot and she was very weak. Maya and her father became very worried. They didn't have any money to take her to the hospital. They didn't even have enough to buy ordinary medicine. Maya ran from house to house in the village, begging for help. She cried and told them, "Please help me with some money. My mother is very sick. I want to buy drugs for her." But everyone said the same thing. There is no money. Some were truly poor, and others just didn't want to help. Maya went back home with empty hands and a broken heart. She sat beside her mother and held her hand. She prayed quietly in her heart, hoping her mother would get better. But after a few days, her mother stopped breathing. She died. Maya cried so bitterly. Her cries could be heard from far away. She held her mother's lifeless body and wept like a baby. The pain in her heart was too much. Her only friend, her mother, was gone just like that. The villagers came around and helped bury her mother, but Maya's heart remained heavy. Life had always been hard, but now it felt like her whole world had ended. After her mother's death, life became even harder for Maya and her father. They continued to struggle. Every day, they work on people's farm just to earn small money to eat. Sometimes they were paid with food instead of money, but they never complained. That was the only way they could survive. Maya would wake up early in the morning, cook what little food they had, and follow her father to the farm. They would work under the hot sun, clearing bushes, planting and weeding, all just to survive. One day, Maya and her father went to work in a big farm far from the village. They were hired to weed the place. They had been working for hours when suddenly Maya heard her father scream out in pain. "Ah!" She dropped her cutlass and rushed to his side. Her heart was beating fast. "Papa, Papa, what happened?" She saw him holding his leg tightly. When she looked closely, she saw the wound. He had been bitten by a snake. A black snake had come out from the bush and bitten him on the leg. Maya screamed in fear. "Somebody help us, please, somebody help." But no one was around. The farm was too far from the village, and they were alone. Maya didn't know what to do. She tried to tie his leg with a piece of cloth, but the poison was already spreading fast. Her father's breathing became slower and slower. "Papa, please don't leave me." Maya cried, holding him tightly. "Please stay with me. I have lost Mama already. Please don't die too. But after some minutes, her father stopped moving. He died there, in the middle of the farm. Maya fell to the ground and cried bitterly. Her tears poured like rain. She held his lifeless body and shouted with all her strength, God, why me? What did I do to deserve this? Why are you taking everyone I love away from me? She cried until her voice was weak. She was now all alone in the world. No mother, no father, no money, no one to help. The pain in her heart was too much to carry. After her father's burial, Maya packed her small bag with the few clothes she had. Her eyes were full of tears, but she had no choice. She had nowhere else to go. Slowly, she walked to her uncle's house, hoping he would take her in and help her. When she arrived, she locked on the door, holding her bag tightly. Her uncle opened the door and looked surprised to see her. What are you doing here? He asked. I don't have anywhere to go, Maya said softly. Please, can I stay with you? Her uncle looked at her for a moment. Then he shook his head. I am sorry, Maya, he said. I can't take care of you. Life is already hard. There are too many expenses. I am struggling to feed my own family. Before Maya could say another word, he closed the door. She stood there shocked and hurt. Slowly, she turned around and walked away, holding back her tears. She walked for a long time until she reached her father's old house. She sat down under the big tree in the yard. Her bag lay beside her, and her stomach groaned with hunger. She put her face in her hands and began to cry. Big, silent tears rolled down her cheeks. She was all alone. No one came to help her. No one brought her food. The wind blew gently through the leaves, but the world around her felt cold and empty. Maya stayed there under the tree, hoping for someone, anyone to care. Days passed, and Maya was still sitting under the tree. She felt more and more lonely. No one came to check on her. She had no food, no help, and no hope. Her stomach was always empty. One morning, she looked up at the sky and said to herself, I can't stay here like this anymore. Maybe I should go to the city. I heard that there is money in the city. People say you can find work there. She sat quietly for a moment thinking, but I don't know anyone in the city. How will I go there? What will I do when I get there? I don't even have any money with me, she said sadly. She looked at her old shoes and whispered, maybe I will trek. I heard the city is very far, but still I will trek to the city. No matter what, I can't live like this anymore. Maya stood up, wiping her tears, and picked up her bags. She was tired and hungry, but her heart was strong. She didn't know what would happen next, but she knew she had to try. And so Maya began her long way to the city, alone, afraid, but full of hope. Maya was walking slowly, her head down, tears falling from her eyes. The road was quiet, empty and cold. She didn't know where she was going. She just wanted to keep walking, far away from everything that hurt her. Her heart felt heavy and her feet were tired, but she kept moving. As she walked, a small car drove past her, then suddenly stopped. A young man inside looked at her through the window. He could see she was crying. He gently rolled down the window and called out, Hey, how are you? Are you okay? Where are you going, walking all alone like this? Maya stopped but didn't answer. Her tears wouldn't let her speak. She looked at her, then looked away. The young man could see she was in pain. Without pushing her too much, he said softly, You don't have to talk if you don't want to, but it's not safe to walk here alone. Please let me give you a ride. Something in his voice felt safe. After a few seconds, Maya slowly walked to the car and got in. She sat quietly in the passenger seat, still crying, looking out the window. The young man didn't ask any more questions. Instead, he drove slowly and said in a calm voice, "Whatever it is going to be okay. I don't know what happened, but I can tell you you are strong. You are not alone right now, okay?" Maya didn't reply, but his voice felt warm, like a small light in her dark world. She kept crying, but a part of her began to feel just a little less lost. After a long time, they arrived at a mansion. Maya quickly wiped her tears and looked at the building with surprise. It was the first time she had seen such a big and beautiful house. She didn't expect to be brought to a place like this. The young man came out of the car and said to her kindly, "Come in." Maya quietly stepped out of the car and followed him. She entered the mansion and sat in the sitting room. Her eyes kept moving around, looking at everything. She had never been in the city before. Talk more of entering a mansion. Everything looked new and strange to her. The shiny floor, the soft chairs, the bright light, and the quietness of the room. She sat with her hands on her lap, not saying anything, just looking. She couldn't believe where she was. It felt like a dream. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share.